What's poppin'? What's cracking? How y'all doing? It's your girl, Irene, the motherfucking Passion Queen, back at you with another. Blah, blah, blah. See, can't even talk. Another episode of the Queendom, where we talk about life, love, sex, and everything in between. Y'all, we got a good show for y'all today. We got a dope ass topic. I got two amazing individuals here tonight. We have the beautiful Army Soul in the building, and of course, everybody's favorite kinky chef, Snook the Crook in the motherfucking building. So we about to have a good time. This is about to be a really good one. So today's topic is safe spaces. And anybody who has ever talked to me about, Nate Boogie with the motherfucking hoodie was good. Uh, one of my biggest things that I always tell people, specifically what I tell guys about how to, get their women to be a little bit more, open to trying things and so forth and so on, is you have to be able to create a safe space where, she feels open to trying things, expressing the things that she want to try, and just expressing how she feels sexually good. Whatever to smell good. But a safe space for a person is not just something that is needed sexually. It is something that is needed all across the board. And I think we're going to do our best to kind of touch on all the different ways that, a safe space can be useful. So, first off, let me go ahead and let these wonderful individuals introduce themselves to y'all. And then we're going to, get it cracking. So, we're going to tell them about, going to tell them who you is scared.
Hey, I'm Ami Soul. And that's pretty much it. I'm like the artist formerly known as just Ami Soul. Like that's
Come
it.
on.
You can find me on all platforms at Ami_Soul at this way. No, this
Point that way, point the
whichever
other way.
way. You see it right there in the corner. Okay.
But
That's my
no,
name.
it's on your other side on
It's
our
on this
screen.
girl. One of these ways you find my name and then you can look me up. I pop right up. But hi everybody. Hi.
It's the funny.
Me and my twin.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that means. What I don't know what this means. I don't know if this means you're going left or right or left. It doesn't matter to me which way you go, as long as some kind of pleasure is in there. It makes no difference. Hi, Lo. I am Snook the Crook, aka Daddy the Kinky Chef. I'm the owner of my own food business. I am a friend of Irene, the Passion Queen. I gotta put that in there because that is a big deal. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a big deal out here. If y'all don't understand that, I dibble and dabble in BDSM and other things that brings pleasure. You know what I'm saying, to myself, to my partners, to whoever I'm with. You can find me right there, Sugar Crook on IG. Then that's me.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So, like I said, the topic is, safe spaces. So, um, I think the first thing that I want to ask is, what do you feel like you need in order to have a safe space? Like, what do you need from your partner to feel like it's a safe space from you? And then also, what would you need from your friends? Because that looks totally different. It's two different, relationships, two different arenas. Like, what does it look like for you to have a safe space with your partner? And then what does it look like for you to have a safe space with your friends? And y'all in the chat, y'all can answer that too. So whoever want to go first with that one.
A safe space for me with when it comes to me and my man. Shout out to my husband. Hey, Big Daddy. Period. Um, a safe space for me. That's me and my twin. But a safe space for he and I
Oh
is the
shit.
ability to be our most authentic selves, and that's really important for us because we have of course we have our likes and our dislikes and things like that, but us communicating those things in the beginning made it super simple for us to create a safe space where there's no judgment. We could be our most authentic selves, and it's an amazing feeling. when a relationship is when we're both on mutual ground. So that's really important. But for friendship, I feel like me and female friends, we don't I don't really vibe like that with a whole lot of women because I'm just a lot more logical in my thinking. Not necessarily like a man, but leaning more towards that side. I'm a little bit more logical than emotional. So sometimes I don't understand the realms that some women operate in. I
Hmm.
just don't. So,
Tell
like a
me about
safe
it.
space is for me in a friendship. Just allow me to be me. I may not agree
Right.
with all your choices, but I'm still gonna be your support system if need be, and I need the same thing in return. We ain't gonna
Right.
agree because I'm not gonna go bust no windows out no car. I'm not putting no banana in the tailpipe. I'm not finna go pull no drive-bys and no, I'm not doing none of that. Now, as your friend, I'm gonna try to talk you out of it because you don't know what's waiting on
Right.
the other side of somebody's house. But if I don't want to go and participate in that, my friends need to be okay with me not wanting to go and participate in that because that ain't who I am, you know.
Right. Right.
So,
Well,
interesting enough, right? I knew what the topic of this conversation was going to be, and I kind of pre-prepped. And I asked you last night, Irene, did you want to read what I came up with? And you said no. But interesting enough, I wrote down two topics. One of them was just that, right? Safe space between your partner, and the other safe space should be your home. Um,
mm,
so this is what I wrote down, right? Having a partner who embodies the principles of a safe space. In BDSM, trust and mutual respect are the foundation of all interactions, right? Your partner should be someone who listens to your needs and respects your limits, ensuring that all activities are consensual and enjoyable for both parties. They should be open to ongoing communication and willing to check in regularly to make sure that everybody feels safe and comfortable. A safe partner is also someone who understands and respects the importance of aftercare, providing the necessary emotional support and reassurance after an intense session. Building this level of trust and safety with your partner not only enhances your BDSM experience, but also strengthens the overall relationship. So, it pretty much runs into um, trust, communication. Communication is one of my favorite c words, within the lifestyles and the communities. And somehow, no matter what topic I'm on here talking about with Irene, the word communication always comes back up. And I think people should note that, why the word communication always comes up, because communication is a big deal. um,
very
so
big
that
deal.
that is how I feel, right, about your partner. If you have somebody that might be more experienced than you, and they're taking you through your steps and through your levels, right, to where to get you where they are or where they want to take you, then you should be comfortable with them, right? You should be able to communicate all through that. Um, so that safe word is a big deal.
Mm. So,
So,
Is it safe to say though? Wouldn't that be you should be comfortable before you sleep with someone, period? That communication should be there, period, right?
so to me, that comes at the beginning, right? That comes with the courting stage, you know what I'm saying, of somebody. That comes with, what do you like? What do I like? What are your limits? What are my limits? That
Yeah.
comes with all of that stuff. To me, and it should come to others also. So learning somebody's limits beforehand would be
Yeah.
very intelligent of you, or not you
right.
specifically, but of anybody.
Well, I think a thing to kind of note with that is that, when we look at this Snook, and I mean, I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever had a conversation with you about how familiar you are with the BDSM lifestyle. But, oh, okay, all right, there it is. I got the giggle. That's all I needed, baby. All right,
You can ask
then.
away, girl.
Come on. All right. See, this is why you here, honey. Because I was like, I think she's gonna be, a good addition. But I think that's something that, when you're in the lifestyle, I think those are things that you think about a lot more
Yeah.
than people who are not in the lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Because I think as you learn the lifestyle, and you realize if you are truly somebody who is in it and to understand it and to appreciate it and to value it, you understand the safety precautions that need to be taking place on the front of just what you like doing, because depending on how far you're willing to go versus how far I'm willing to go, somebody could get hurt if we don't know how that baseline understanding of what your limits are. Because I may be ready to run a triathlon in this bitch with it, but you can only do a marathon. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you need to know those things. So being able to have that type of communication before you explore with someone is extremely important. Now, I love what both of you all said as far as safe space goes, but I also think there's a level of self-awareness that you need to have as well in
Mhm.
order to properly take advantage of a safe space. And when I say that is, somebody could provide that space for you. Be like, hey, this is a safe space. There's no judgment here. You can say what you need to say, express yourself, all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't even have enough awareness of self, what is it that you are truly trying to ask for in this particular situation? What what type of support do you need in this situation? Like I said, I'm with you. I'm not the home girl. I'm not gonna go bust windows out with you. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I'm not gonna do that. Uh, that just ain't. Now I may know some things that may be beneficial to you if you decide to do that, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not.
You call
I'm
me for
not
the
the.
bail. You
No, don't
tell me
call
where
me.
your money at, I'll come get
I'm
it.
about to say, yeah. If you tell me where your money is,
Tell me where
I'll come
your
get you.
money is. I'll come
But
get you out.
don't call me thinking I'm gonna use my money and you did some dumb shit.
Mm-mm.
Because
Mm-mm.
I'm very much, I'd rather have his mental fucked up than actually fuck up his. You can't send me to jail because somebody got had a mental breakdown behind me. That ain't my fault. Somewhat. Anyway, that's beside the point. But being able to
So,
create this,
so what I would say, right, to step in there and not to cut you off, right? Um, so for somebody to have the knowledge of their limits or where they're trying to go, sometimes people get trapped in the wanting to please who they're with, and they won't acknowledge that they are now past their safe space. They are now
mhm,
past their limits, and so therefore they don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, or they don't want to stop what's going on because they want to please their partner. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's on the person that's in control at the moment. And as much as I like to say, really in a dom sub relationship, the sub is really in control of that. If you know, then you know. But that dominant has to be able to look and assess the situation ongoing. I have to say, okay, I, you flinched the first time I hit you. You know what I'm saying? But this time that I hit you, you flinch a little bit differently, and maybe we are past your pain threshold. So now you're just taking stuff to 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 please me. You know what I'm saying? So you
right,
don't, you got to know when to stop before you hurt somebody. Because some people they won't say nothing. They just gonna keep going. You know what I'm
right,
saying? And that your partner don't abuse your safe space. You end up in turn abusing your own safe space.
right. That is a good example of you need to have that level of self awareness, because like you said, you turn around being a people pleaser in this lifestyle can really get you hurt. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's one thing as a submissive to want to please your dominant, or whatever you refer to your D type as. It's one thing to want to please that person, but at the same time, that person should have enough care and concern for you to not want to push you past your limits. Because not only can it be physically harmful for you, it can also be emotionally if you
Yeah.
go past the limits that you know that you have, because at some point it's a really fine line of this being something that's pleasurable to turn it into something that can be abusive. But it's also, once again, communication is probably the strongest pillar of all of BDSM next to consent. I feel like them two, consent and communication, maybe go hand in hand. If you don't have one without the other, I don't know what the fuck you doing with your life, because
Yeah.
You know, that's super important out here in these streets.
You know what I think goes into a safe space also though.
What?
Um, so you said two of the words, right? You said the physical and you said the emotional, but you didn't say that other word. The mental aspect of this. I think
Hmm.
having a conversation with somebody to learn what they've been through mentally if they have been abused in various ways, and I won't put those words out here so you ain't got to bleep 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 nothing.
Baby, we don't
But
believe 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 nothing over here.
Oh, okay. Well, if somebody has been, sexually abused, physically abused, mentally abused, you know what I'm saying? Like you should know those things if you want to go. Like, me personally, right? If you want to go there with me, I need to know everything. I need to know your secrets. I need to know what you hold in. I need to know what's going to trigger you. I need to know that you were pinched as a child, and pinching does not, what I'm saying, pleasure you, even though it might be something that I use.
Hmm.
It might take you to someplace mentally to where you are now out of that zone, right? You are now out of the play that we're having right now, and therefore you being scared to say something is going to go from pleasure to abuse. You know what I'm saying? And you never want to take somebody there. But people don't want to have that conversation all the time to put their past out there, to put, their mental stuff that they're still working on or they have, their triggers and all of that stuff and their trauma out there. I think that's a big part of knowing and building a safe space for a person. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to tell you your limits also.
True. So
Mhm.
it's funny that you mentioned it because for those who don't know, I like to read. Shout out to my girl Chup because she put me onto this book. It's like a 6-part series, I think, but it's called Highest Bidder. The book is called Highest Bidder, and I'm currently on the second book of the series, which is called Soul. But the thing that was common in both the first book as well as the second book so far is the two young ladies that were submissive both had some abusive past. One was like one girl, I think in the book that I'm currently reading, the girl was like kidnapped and held captive and treated as a slave for like 4 years. And the other girl, she was like abused by her uncle when she was a kid. But both of them tried to hide this information from their dominant. And well, the first girl tried to hide the information from the dominant. The second girl was just like she slowly told him. Uh, but being able to understand someone's background, because we talked about this, Snook, on the episode that we shot last year about mental health and
Mhm.
BDSM, which we are going to be revisiting that conversation, you guys, on the 25th of June. So make sure y'all check in for that shit. But we talked about how there are times where your trauma, the things that happened to you in your past, can turn into your kink. It can turn into your fetish, such as if you were in an abusive relationship and you got choked. That may be something that you actually enjoy, but being able to take that power and you have control of how long it lasts, how hard, all this other kind of stuff. You have that power over the sensation of this moment. It kind of like it helps you, it can help you heal for some people. I'm not gonna say for everybody, but for some people, it can help you heal. But at the same time, like Snook said, if it's something that he likes to do that would trigger you and send you down a dark, into a dark place, you know what I mean? Then he needs to be aware of that so that either A, you all can talk about, whether or not you want to explore it safely, or you just want it as a hard limit and not do it at all.
Mhm.
So being able to have that communication, because one of the biggest things that I think a lot of people forget about when it comes to safe spaces is safe spaces equal hard conversations.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree. I think there's a certain level of understanding you have to have with yourself because you can't expect anyone to understand unless you understand yourself where your trauma comes from or where your kinks come from, like the root cause or the root problem on why you like that. It could be, like you said, in fact, tied to your trauma. So you have to first have some understanding of yourself in order for someone else to understand that part. I feel like that's the best way to set your boundaries because To me, in my opinion, this is just my thought process. It's impossible to set boundaries if you don't understand yourself. You don't even know what your limits are. So how would you expect someone to respect and know what your limits are? You don't know.
Right.
And it's funny that you mentioned, and I'm gonna put y'all in my business a little bit, but not too much, because
Okay.
we're not gonna do that. But I do have a choke kink, and I am one of those ones who tells my man to choke harder, daddy. I do that,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I can honestly say, because I've already been through my healing process, that I know that is the result of me being in a domestic violence relationship with my last relationship, because that is something he did used to do to me.
Mhm.
And it took me 3 years, 3.5 years of celibacy and a lot of self healing, a lot of shadow work for me to understand that, yes, it came from a dark place, but now choke away, Big Daddy, because yeah,
Hey
that's
man.
I'm just
Choke
saying, and I
away,
tell them choke
Big
harder,
Daddy.
So
I'm taking out my business.
look, very much. Okay, this is a very much twin moment because it's something that I talked about when we did talk about the mental health on the mental health episode. It's like, that first moment of realizing, because I truly did not like delve into BDSM until I got out of my last relationship. I had I'm a nerd, so I'm very much a research girly. So I had done research. I had been to like a class that showed different types of, uh impact plays and stimulation, all types of stuff. Like we did fire play and all that type of shit in this little class that I went to at a dungeon. By the way, if y'all just Google and find y'all a dungeon, if y'all want to find more out about BDSM, of course, make sure y'all also, check in on this channel because we talk a
Yeah.
lot about it. Because BDSM does look very different for the BIPOC community than it does for our white counterparts. But a lot of these faces that you will find if you find a dungeon will be, a whole lot of white people. There is some good information there. There is. I'm not gonna say there's not, but there are going to be some questions that you may have that are going to be specific because you are a black person, you are a brown person, that will they ain't gonna understand, and they just not they it's not gonna make sense to them. Then at that point, baby, come on over here, and we got you. You know what I'm saying? You can scroll through my page and find a plethora of topics from some people who are professional doms, professional subs, who have been in the lifestyle for a very long time, such as Sir Snook down here. You know what I'm saying? Daddy Health, Tayomi. Like I've had some great people on the show to talk about a lot of these things because that was my biggest thing when I started to learn about BDSM. It was a very whitewashed area, and I'm like, yeah, I see what you're saying, but I feel like that it don't feel the same. It don't look the same for me. I need
I
people
mean,
who
but
like
that's but that's because right that goes back to that. Now you talking about some generational trauma, some way back
Mhm.
there trauma. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? And that's when people ask me, say, oh, do you like white girls? Sorry, I don't think pink. But you know what I'm saying? I love my black women. I love beautiful black women. Like that's who I want to be with. That's who I want to experience my life with. You know what I'm saying? That's who I want to share my joys and happiness and hurt with. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just different, man. It's different when you're looking at somebody who can't necessarily understand what you're going through at some point, and it don't look the same, it don't feel the same. You know what I'm saying? Like I occasionally when I'm on X, aka Twitter, you know what I'm saying, you scroll and you get to that race play stuff, and
Yeah, I can't.
you know what I'm saying? It's not my kink. That's all I'm going to say.
Right.
It's not my kink. So I'm not shaming nobody else. If that's what you do, get your money. Get it however you feel like getting it. But if I'm going to scroll and watch it, I would prefer to see the black dominance. That's what I would prefer to see. The other
Yeah.
way around just makes me think of our past and our history.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't get into that. So that's maybe why it doesn't look or feel the same for us. You know what I'm saying? We have to have our own spaces sometimes, and it's not going back to segregation. It's going back to this is what's comfortable to me. You know what I'm saying? This is what's gonna make me in a good space and a good, mind, to express myself and do what it is that I want to do. Um,
Right.
so I mean, just if it ain't your kink, it ain't your kink. But you always want to be in a comfortable space, for sure.
Exactly.
We're not gonna
Exactly.
skate past the think pink part, okay?
I
I
thought
just
we
Yeah,
want
were.
you to know that.
I don't like. Hey, me
We're
and my
not gonna
best friend say the
tiptoe
same.
past the
I thought
think
we were.
Me
I
and my
thought we
best friend
were.
say the same thing.
I'm
You know what I'm saying?
saying.
'Cause she is on the other side of the fence, and we say the same thing. Like we don't. Like, oh, you like? No, I don't think pink. You know
No,
what I'm
no,
saying? It just.
we're not gonna tiptoe past the think pink part. I just want you to know
I don't.
that, just because I
I,
call it
I,
something,
I,
I say something else, but I ain't trying to get my good sis messed up on this app, so I ain't gonna
yeah.
say
I
it.
mean, I just listen.
Baby,
That's just ain't my
you free
thing.
to say whatever you want to say over here. This is not the tiki and the taki. You can say
See,
whatever
because
you want to say.
I say I don't do pork skins.
Come
That's
on,
just
poor
me.
skins, Jesus.
I,
Hey, I said, look, I gave her a precursor. I don't do pork rinds. I don't do
you
that.
did. You did. You did. Look,
I
you
gave
gave
her a
her. You
precursor.
did.
She
You
gave me
did.
the
You
okay,
did.
right?
You did. I heard it. I heard it.
Okay,
So she
Nothing
can't
okay.
come
against
back and
nobody else.
she
I
can't
just
come
I'm
back
not.
and say
I
nothing
don't
to
do
you.
pork rinds. I don't do pork
And I
rinds.
won't because I want you to speak freely over here. Okay, that's why I love doing this my show over here
Yeah.
because I
Yeah,
like
I
us
mean,
to be able to speak freely.
it's just not my thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to go off topic. It's just, but I want to see somebody who lives the same life that I live. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that y'all black women don't have y'all own, things that y'all have to go through. You know what I'm saying? In life that specifically, resonate with y'all. But when I lay in bed at night, you know what I'm saying? I want to lay next to a black woman. That's just me. That's
Same.
just me.
Listen, baby, there's something about that. Listen, it's the way a black man just move and walk
Mm.
and talk and Jesus, good God.
She
I
gonna sing
thought
that song. I ain't about to sing that Southern Man song.
listen, okay, because oh, and a
Listen,
big one at that. Oh,
listen.
Jesus,
It's
shoulders.
it is something so, and it's more than just the physical of a black man. It's the spirituality. It's the
Mm,
walking with the head held high. It's the knowledge. It's the integrity. It's the honor. It's all of those things that encompasses a black man, that makes him
right,
who he is. When he walks into a room and he can turn heads and he ain't said a word, beard on point, his strut is on point, shoulders back, head up. I'm talking about knowing that he is that man, he's that guy. When he walk in that room, it is something incredibly sexy and endearing to watch a black man who actually operates in his true masculine self. And he's
right.
spiritually aware, he's physically aware, he's mentally aware of who he is. Just to witness that and just watch black men be black men.
But do you know where that comes from? You know where all of that knowledge and recognition comes from. That comes from a black woman telling you that. That comes from communication. That comes from, like, sometimes I need to be reassured. You know what I'm saying? The
Right.
same way y'all need to be reassured in y'all love and y'all feelings and
Mm,
emotions. You know what I'm saying? I need to be reassured that I am doing what I'm doing right. You know what I'm saying? For our
absolutely.
house, for our relationship, for our home, for our lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I need a little reassurance.
Right.
I agree.
And I think one of the especially for me, another thing is there's a level of to kind of tie it back to the topic, there's only a certain there's a level of safety that comes with dealing with a black man that can provide you. 'Cause I'm
Mhm.
not gonna sit up here and say that every black man can provide a safe space for you. You know what I'm saying? But for a black man that can provide you a safe space,
Mm,
it feels different. There's a certain level of protection and
mhm.
safety that comes with dealing with a black man as a black woman that I'm sorry, I wholeheartedly, I've never tried, but I just wholeheartedly don't believe I can find anywhere else. But also the same in reverse because I already know that the word is against that man when he walk out the door. So when he come
Yes,
home, you
ma'am.
know what I'm saying? When I tell you I am your safety, I don't give a damn if you feel like you need to break down and cry for 15, 20, 30, however fucking long because life is hard in general
Yeah.
and double down as a black man or a black woman, and we going out here fighting all this bullshit on a daily basis, and you trying to fight against stereotypes. And bitch, I just want to get out here and make my money and go home. I ain't trying to, tussle with you regular hoes out here.
Yes, I just want
You
to
know what
mind
I'm
my
saying?
melanated business and go
Okay.
back in the house. Do you hear
And
me?
that's it. And that's
Yes.
it. And to be able to kind of take it to the other part that I wanted to talk about is being the person who creates the safe space. Um, I personally, I take it as a not only an honor but also an amazing privilege to be able to provide a safe space, specifically
Absolutely.
for my people in general,
Yeah.
but specifically for a black man, and especially if that black man is my man.
Woo.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Then
Lord.
very much, baby, it's me and you against the world. I wish a motherfucker would. And what
Mm-hmm.
happens, and while I do not like the phrase "what happened in this house stays in this house," but there's a certain level of what happens between you and I, especially when you're being vulnerable. It stays
Right.
between you and I. Ain't nobody else got to know about this shit. You will never like one thing I hate to see women do. Lord Jesus,
Oh,
he an
that's
old
where
man.
Rose at.
Look, he an old man. He probably clicked something. Knowing him, he'll be back. But something that I hate to see, and I'm specifically saying women because this I see women do this majority of the time, is you gave that man a safe space to be vulnerable with you, but the moment
Mhm.
you got mad at him, you threw it back in his face.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
can't do that. I can't do that
I me.
because what was the point of me giving you a safe space if I'm gonna throw it back in your face at the second I get angry? Like that shit don't make no sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. That's one of the, to me, in my opinion, as not only a woman, as a black woman, knowing the trauma that black men and black women have endured for hundreds of years. And to me, it starts when a young man is a boy. So many men, especially our black men, specifically our black men, have been stifled and they have been stunted in their emotional growth. So for
Right.
me, I like to look at the origin of things. It started when young black boys were told that, you have to stand up and be a man. Crying is for sissy. Crying is for little girls. Real men don't cry. You have to stand up and be a man. So when that boy is told that at a certain age that his tears are invalid, that his pain is invalid, to me, whatever age he was told that, his emotional growth stopped. And
It
I'm
does.
no psychologist. That's just my theory. So when we encounter little boys who have been stunted in emotional growth, who turn into teenage boys who start to act out because they have no emotional outlet, those turn into grown men who still don't have an emotional outlet, and now that's years of buildup and pain without any expression. So when they
Right.
finally do open up and do express certain things to us, the worst thing and the most disgusting thing you can do is take that pain and that trauma and that vulnerability that he probably took so many years to release, to throw it back in his face.
Right. To use it to weaponize somebody's vulnerability is probably one of the most disgusting things that you could probably ever
Very
do.
much.
You know what I'm saying? And then at that point, why would you even create a safe space for a person? Because at that point, you're just trying to be manipulative.
But
And
that's the question though. Is it truly a safe space if you were able to throw that back in his face? Is it truly a safe? Was it ever truly a
no,
safe space?
I feel like if that's not a safe space, what that is you being what's the word I'm looking
Manipulative.
for?
I like
You're being
manipulative.
manipulative, but
Yeah.
it's also like you're fighting a war. So you're gathering intel. That's what you're doing. You're not creating a safe space. You're trying to gather intel because you waiting for that moment that when they piss you off, you can throw it back in their face. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You can say this shit in front of their people, their friends, their family, whatever the case may be, to embarrass them and hurt them at their lowest. And don't get me wrong, baby, because I just said some slick shit out my mouth. But the
Yeah.
one thing that you won't catch me doing is anything that you said to me in private, in confidence. Baby, I got people that I don't fuck with today. And baby, they have bared their souls to me. Because I definitely believe one of my blessings and one of my gifts in life is that I just naturally make people feel comfortable. And, people, baby, I done had people tell me so much stuff. And I'd be like, sweetheart, I don't even know your last name and you telling me all your business. But if
Right.
it help you get through whatever you're going through, go ahead and talk. That's fine.
I
You
agree.
know what I'm saying? So I have people that when I say I don't talk to them to today, but the one thing can't nobody sit up here and say is that they fell out with me and then I turned around and put their business out in the street.
I ain't never told your secrets. I might not fuck with you no more. but I ain't never told your secrets. I still got secrets that I carry from people from third grade. I
Hello?
ain't gonna tell your secrets, but just know I want
Right.
you to eat. You just can't eat at my table because I don't fuck with you.
Hello? I'm not gonna
That's
stop you.
it.
And
Okay.
see, that's another extension of a safe space that a lot of people forget about. A safe space is you shouldn't a safe space shouldn't only be contingent on the validity of your friendship or your connection with that person. Because
I
Mm.
agree.
if it chose you as a safe space, regardless of whether or not y'all continue to have a good relationship at whatever level y'all have a relationship at, you
Mhm.
should still respect the confines of that safe space.
Hey,
And
Right.
that's
listen,
one of
see,
the
no, wait, no, stop, stop, stop. You see right there, put a break right there, and then I want you to go back to them 30, 45 seconds, and that's the part I want you to clip off, and I want you to share with the right there, right? What you say? Your safe space should not be what? It should not be
contingent.
because we get
It
that what
should
I
not
right
be.
there.
It shouldn't be contingent on the validity of the relationship that you and that person have. If you gave somebody a safe space, then if
Mhm.
y'all don't fuck with each other no more, the confines of that safe space still exist. Don't be out here trying to be petty, trying to tell their motherfucking business.
Well,
Because
what I got a question. What if I didn't give the hussy whore a safe space and she just was telling her business to me anyway? Do that still count? Because I ain't
So
provided no
no,
safe
no,
space.
no, no, stop, stop. I got it. Stop. So this is what I will tell you, right? This is what I'm going to say about that, and you might not agree with me, right? Because of how you just worded that. This is what I will say. Sometimes you might not give people a safe space. Like you might not open up your safe space to them, but
Mm-hmm.
the vibe and the it just whatever that you give off lets people know that you are a safe space. Lets people know that they can confide in you, and lets people know that you are trustworthy enough for them to share certain things with you, and you will not turn back around and throw it in their face, put their business out there. So I know at times you might not want to be somebody's safe space, but if they are giving you, you know what I'm saying, the honor of holding what they deem secret, what they deem, you know what I'm saying, trustworthy for you to have.
Mm-hmm.
Feel good about that because everybody don't get that. Everybody don't get that.
So what you're saying is, even though she tried me, I still got to operate in my queendom, henceforth the
Yes,
yes.
name, and
yes,
not
yes, you do.
wear her ass out. Is what you telling me?
Yeah,
I mean,
yes.
now here go T. Now here go T. You
No,
can wear a motherfucker out.
no, 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 no,
Hold on,
no.
hold on. Let me finish my statement, and then you can disagree or not, or agree, whatever. Now, wearing somebody ass out don't mean you got to spill whatever they gave, whatever information they gave to you in the confines of that safe space. You can wear a motherfucker out without telling they did. Baby, I did it many a times, honey, because when I tell you, the mouth is vicious across many forms of usage of that term. Don't fuck with me. I won't tell your business, but baby, you gonna wish I told your business if you keep fucking with me. Just don't do it for the
Okay.
sake. You know what I'm saying? But because there's also a point in time where, and this is where I am currently in life. There has to be a little bit of a scale in your life, right? When certain
Mhm.
situations arise, you have to weigh your options, and then you got to figure out which option is truly worth it. Because
Okay.
sometimes me having to step outside of my character and get
Hmm.
your ass together ain't even worth it. Because here's the truth of the matter: is you not gonna change. You gonna keep doing what you gonna do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just put some distance between us, like you said earlier.
Hmm.
I want you to still eat, but baby, you just can't eat at my table.
You
You know
you
what
you
I'm saying?
right. You right. I mean, sometimes I used to be with the MLK approach a lot, but I'm in my Harley Quinn / Malcolm X type of energy, and sometimes I like to let somebody know the exact coordinates, the nautical knots of where you had me fucked up at. But see, y'all said don't do it, so all right,
I mean, I can
okay,
let you, but here go see, I can let you know where you had me fucked up at, and
okay.
still not spill
The,
your tea.
the nautical knots of where you had me
The
Yes,
fucked up
longitude and the
at.
latitude.
letter
Look,
two.
the
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am,
longitude, the
ma'am,
latitude.
ma'am. I mean, I'm gonna just show you that right there. You see that? I
So
understand what
you
you're
know
talking
what I
about.
mean. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
Him,
sometimes
him,
I have to I need the
him,
coordinates. I didn't get to
Right,
show them the visual coordinates of where you at this point you had me fucked up at. But
right.
okay, all right.
Because I mean, sometimes it's not worth it. And you mentioned something else earlier when you said you had some notes that you took or that you wrote down, Snook. But you mentioned your home being a safe space. Now,
Yes.
I am big on that. Because baby, when I tell you, everybody can't come to my house. I got
Period.
people that I've been cool with for years. Love them down, love them down. But baby, you're not coming to my house. And it's not necessary. It's not a bougie thing. It's a I've worked so fucking hard to create the safety, the peace, the tranquility that I have in my house.
Okay, so
Don't
I'm
need nobody bringing no crazy ass energy up in this shit.
I'm gonna since we have segued to that space, right? I'm gonna go ahead and give you my spiel, and
Go ahead.
then you know what I'm saying. So your
He's
your
so
home
sweet.
should be your home should be a safe space, right? Creating a safe space within your home is crucial for fulfilling the consensual experiences, right? This means ensuring that your environment is both physically and emotionally secure. A safe home environment allows for open communication where boundaries are respected and consent is paramount. It's important to have clear agreements about the use of safe words, which can immediately halt any activity if someone feels uncomfortable or unsafe. Your home should be a place where all parties feel they can explore their desires and limits without fear of judgment or harm. This also includes the prepared. I'm sorry. This also includes being prepared with the necessary safety equipment and having a plan for aftercare to support each other's well-being. So
Come on.
that is my spiel, right? And I think that's so that goes outside of lifestyles. That goes across the board, right? When people come, when you open your home to people, you know what I'm saying. For me, I fuck with you if you come to my house and I cook you a meal. If you ever eat
Hello.
at my house, then you
Okay.
know what I'm saying. You are okay here. You know what I'm saying. But if you ain't never ate here, if you just came here and you got a bag of chips or something, that's probably about the farthest you gonna go with me. You know what I'm saying. But if I feed you, you know what I'm saying? This is a safe space. You can come here and spend the night if you need to. If you need to get away from whatever situation you got going on, you can come here. But I will tell you this: if you come to get away from the situation and you turn back around and go back to the situation, you want to countdown. You want to get three strikes with me. That third time, you got to go find somewhere else because either one, you like it and you just ain't figured out that you like it yet, or
Right.
two, you're just stupid and you can't be stupid and bring your stupidity here and mess up my safe space. You know what I'm saying? You
I
can't
mean,
mess up.
I
I mean,
respect it.
fair. I respect it. I mean, I feel like it's a couple of more options in there.
I mean, sure.
I
Sometimes
respect
people
it.
have a hard time figuring out how to lead situations, which
No, it
Right.
ain't that hard.
but no,
No. Yes, it is.
yes, it
Yes,
is.
it
It's a lot
is.
harder than some people want to admit. It's a lot harder than some people
It
because a lot
is.
of times you don't realize how hard it is to lead certain shit until you're in said shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say this, right? It's one of those things to where people are like, do what I say and not what I do. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where I get it and I understand. The problem is that I have a degree in management and supervision. I also have a certification in counseling and other things. You know what I'm saying? Now, where you might be like, it's hard to leave. At some point, you got to realize running into the brick wall is that's how you're getting injured. So
No, no,
how
no.
about we do something
Fair.
different? You know what I'm saying? And then if I give you a way to change your situation and you don't accept the way, now granted, my way not be might not be the only way. And I do understand that. You know what I'm saying? But if I think about something, because this is I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a cancer thing. I don't know if it's a meat. I don't know what it is, but I love taking care of people. I like keeping people safe and knowing that people are safe, especially
I
my
think that
female friends around me.
I think that has a lot to do with your dumb energy, though.
Maybe I'll accept that too. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure people are safe. And if I see that you are putting yourself in an unsafe space and I'm trying to get you out of that unsafe space, I'm not gonna I can't make you do what I want you to do. You have to make a choice. Now,
Right.
if you make the choice, I'm gonna hold you to the choice. But if you just keep running it back into it, like I can't,
But
I can't.
there's a lot of different factors that go into that though.
It is.
Simply because I'm a domestic violence survivor and it took me years to leave. So what may seem simple to someone who's not sitting in that, it's not so simple once you're actually going through it. You have to
Right.
take time to plan and leave those situations because you don't know what the
Hmm.
circumstances are. You don't know what the threats are. You don't know what type of whatever in that situation is. So where people who have never been in it say, "Oh, you should have just left." You know how many women have left those situations and ended up being killed because they
Right.
didn't leave
Right.
when they
Because
didn't take enough time to plan it is what I'm saying.
right. Because if you
I think
don't,
it's just a little bit different when you got kids. If you got kids, it is a little
well,
bit different, things like
no,
that. But even
Even without
even by
kids.
yourself,
even
yeah, yeah,
even
yeah. Like
without kids, because you have to think about a lot of things when it comes to a situation like that. Because it's not, first off, you got to think about the mental aspect of it. Because
Mhm.
9 times out of 10, if somebody is in, we're going to use specifically a domestic violence situation. If somebody is in a domestic violence situation, I guarantee you that there has been a deep level of mental manipulation where that individual is struggling because there's a huge part of them that knows that this is not right. I should not be
Mhm.
treated this way. But there's also this fierce loyalty and connection that they have to their abuser. And the first thing is finding a way to get past that loyalty that you have with your abuser. Now, once you're able to get past that and you're able to start focusing on yourself and realizing that you know you deserve better, you can have better, even if that better means you have to be by yourself, because that's another thing. Because as women, specifically, not saying now, I'm speaking from a woman's point of view because I know there are men out there who are in abusive situations, but I'm not a man, so I can't speak to that, thing. But I specifically for women, majority of us were raised that the epitome of your life is to find a man to take care of you, a man that's gonna be there for you, and all this other kind of stuff. And a lot of times, what happens in these relationships is this person who is abusive to you presents as the perfect person to the outside world. They take care of shit. They seem like they're there for you. They love you. It's this mask that is presented to the outside world. And so you have a really fucked up mind trip because you see them being the awesome, amazing person that you know that they can be. And
yeah,
then
you know what I call that?
you deep
Hold on,
on the back
you
end.
you you know what I call that person? I call it the representative. So you met their
Right.
representative. You met the
Exactly.
person because you sit and told me exactly everything that you wanted and needed, and you basically gave me the game plan
Blueprint.
to hook and reel you. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And so people these things, you know what I'm saying? Because they see outside beauty. They see, oh, I gotta have that, you know what I'm saying? I can show that off. And that's what they do. They pretend to be these things. You know what I'm saying? But to go back to right what you said you first need to do, I think the first thing you need to do is recognize you're in a situation. Because a lot of people don't even understand and they don't even recognize that they're in that situation. You know,
Right.
once you
But
recognize you're in a situation, then you can start, okay, let me start making a plan. Let me start doing it. You know what I'm saying? Let me realize that I got more loyalty to this person than they have to me. And
mhm.
therefore it's allowing me, I'm allowing myself to keep being abused. And I'm gonna go you make sure you stick a trigger warning on this thing, right? You put hashtag trigger warning DV on here for the people, right? But I think that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? We fall so in love with that damn representative, man. And we get trapped into it, and somewhere in there we get comfortable and we are afraid to step out. We are afraid to start over. We are afraid to leave because we like you said, right, we have been mentally abused. And it's, well, who's gonna love me now? You know what I'm saying? What am I gonna do tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? I
Exactly.
understand. I
Yeah.
understand.
It's so much you because you go through those myriad of questions in your head. You know what I mean? And especially if you're talking about somebody who, to kind of speak on your point of a person has to realize that they're in a bad situation first. Sometimes people don't realize it's a bad situation because it's normal to them because they
Yeah,
grew up
Yeah.
seeing that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
you know, being able to step outside and realize that there are better things out there versus what you grew up seeing, what you possibly were told. Because let's be 100% honest. It's older women, the older generation. It's several of them that taught the younger girls. You know, Vino, what up? It's several of them that taught the younger girls that, if he don't hit you, he don't love you. If he don't
Yeah.
do this, then he don't love you. You know what I'm saying? It's so and that goes all the way back to when we were kids. Because think about when you were a little girl, and if a little boy picked on you, if he pulled your hair, pushed you down, all this, oh, that's
Yeah.
because he liked you. Baby, one
Hmm.
thing I never told my nieces is that a little boy liked them because he was violent towards them. I said, you better knock him the fuck out. Let him
Yeah.
know that you ain't the one to fuck with. Okay? Ain't nobody do
I
we not doing this shit.
I like those kind of women. Hit me.
This is about to go left real quick.
Listen,
Real
I
real fast.
can't say that because I'd be like, it's harder than
Yeah, we already yeah. You put it on. She need to put it on right up on the bottom of her thing. She need to put hashtag harder Big Daddy. That's what she need to put right up under there.
Okay. So
Yeah,
baby, when I think
yeah.
now this listen, that girl right there, she love her man. Okay, she love her man.
Yeah,
But
listen, I'm not.
but yeah,
I'm not. I ain't mad at her.
it's so many things. And you know what? I think so I never thought about it this way, but in having this conversation, in situations like that, this is when you have to create your own safe space. This is where
Mhm.
you have to have that moment with yourself of realization of what is it that you're dealing with, what is it that you truly want, and how can you get there. Because, I don't speak on my situation a lot. I think the mental health episode was the first time I ever said something publicly about the domestic violence that I dealt with or whatever the case may be. And it ain't the easiest thing to say, especially with a person like me, because for those who have known me for a long time, and once they find out, the first thing is I just never thought that you would put up with something like that. And that's probably one of the worst things you could say to somebody who's had to deal with that, because it's not necessarily that it was something I put up with in the sense of, oh, I just like brushed it off like it was nothing. No, this person, held their representative for a very long time, and they got me to a vulnerable point because I am not vulnerable with people off the bat. I just am not. It takes work and it takes a lot of trust for me to be fully vulnerable with a person. And for someone to be so devious and so manipulative and just pure down evil to work for 2+ years to get me to the point of vulnerability where they knew that I'm rocking for you, I'm here for you or whatever, and they just started slowly kind of chipping away at shit to the point where they could get me to that point where I was struggling with the concept of leaving, not because I didn't think I could do it on my own, because the bitch had been living on her own before, before this point. You know what I'm saying? I've always been a hustler. Money gonna always come, so I'm always gonna be able to take care of shit. So it was never that, but because what I love hard. I'm a fiercely loyal person. Like when I ride for you, it's gonna take hell for me to stop riding for you. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, what it was is that person realized that, and that person just abused it. You know what I'm saying? And then it got to the point where I was like, oh, okay, so
I
I'm
mean,
gonna tell you
people.
better not to
But
take.
see, people do things like that, where they'll take away things and you don't even realize they're taking it away. You know what I'm saying? They'll go and violate your safe space. They'll, oh, you don't gotta get a job. You stay home and do this, not even take away your money. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you don't gotta talk to them people. You know what I'm saying? They'll take away your friends and your family. And then when you look up and realize you by yourself, you know what I'm saying?
Is,
You don't have a say, you don't know what to do. You know what
is
I'm
it
saying?
safe
And
to
that's why
say? I'm sorry, not to cut
no,
you
no,
off,
go
but
ahead.
is it safe to say that in those type of situations, the representative created a false sense of safe space
Yeah,
in the
Absolutely.
beginning?
Absolutely.
Okay.
absolutely.
Absolutely. But it goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? I'm like Irene, I'm a man, I've been by myself since 17, 18 years old. I've been at the house. You know what I'm saying? When I joined, what I'm saying, my branch of service that I'm in, what I'm saying, I've been out here by myself. I've always had my own place. I've always had, what I'm saying, I've never gotten put out of nobody else's house because I learned early, right? Because I've watched people in my own family get abused by they having their safe space taken away from them, and they couldn't leave because they had nowhere to go. They had nothing to use to go anywhere. And I said, you know what? That's not going to be me. I'm never going to be put out of a woman's house. I'm never going to be put into a space where I'm not going to have what I need to take care of myself. And then when my son came along, you know what I'm saying? That just double down on it to where I know I'm always going to have a place that's going to be safe for my son. My home has always been a safe space. You know what I'm saying? And like Irene just said, you have to create your safe space, you know what I'm saying, for you, and your home should be that. And it ain't got nothing to do with lifestyles and everything else. If you can't come in your home and have peace in your home, you do not have a safe space. And I mean, when you
Amen.
walk in and it's like, I'm off work. I ain't got to deal with nothing. I can turn on music. I can light up all these candles. I can run the AC as long as I want. I can turn on every light. You know what I'm saying? That's you. If that's what makes you happy, you know what I'm saying? Then that is your safe space. If you cannot do that, then you need to start looking around and recognizing what's been taken away from you and start building back your space.
Well, let me
Right.
got a
Because
question. Is this a safe space right now? Because
absolutely.
is this a safe space? Because I have a problem.
Okay, let's go.
I probably got a solution.
All
What's
right,
up?
so I'm gonna let y'all know. Typically, we stop at an hour, but we're gonna keep this conversation going because I don't know. I just feel like we need to keep this one going, so we're gonna keep this one going. So if y'all rock with us, we appreciate it. Share the video out. Bring your friends in. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, y'all can put y'all comments. What's important to y'all when it comes to safe spaces, all that kind of stuff. Please join in on the conversation. We greatly appreciate it. All right, go ahead, Ani.
I have a problem, right?
Okay,
And since we talk about safe spaces, I would hope that this everybody in the comments, hey y'all in the chat, whatever, this is a safe space, right?
it
Because
is.
I have a dilemma. I like to do all types of nasty stuff to my man, and sometimes I be feeling
Amen.
like I'm just. Sometimes I be feeling like I be, he be looking at me outside my head. Sometimes like, where your mind be going at?
I
Because
know the feeling. Uh huh. I'm with
because
you.
okay, Mr. Crook, what you say?
I ain't say nothing. I
Oh, I
had to
thought
lick
you was
my
going to
lips.
say something.
No, I
No,
had to
no,
lick
no.
my lips over here. So what I would say is this, right? Just from the tidbit that you probably ain't even got it all out yet. Um,
She ain't.
so does he know what you like and think about, and the little weird little kinks that you have that you scroll on X and look at? Like, do you send these things to him? Because see, a lot of times, right? Guys be saying they want a freak until they get a freak, and then they figure out that the freak is really too freaky, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
wait a minute, I thought maybe this was freaky, and this was my level of freakiness, but you a little bit past that. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You
He
see,
Mm-hmm.
you might
supports
have to
my
ease him.
BS.
No,
He
listen, I'm
supports.
listening. Supporting
No,
what you
he's
are
down. No,
into.
our support is a. Let me say he's down with my BS. He just in his mind he says to me, "Your imagination is extremely vivid." I just want to know. I just want to get in your head sometimes to see where you come up with some of the nasty, disgusting things
Okay,
you
but
come
you
up.
can tell him that though.
Mm.
You can say, "Hey, listen, I listened to Irene talk about something on here, and I went down a rabbit hole, and this is what I found, and now I'm just sharing
Listen.
with you what I found because this might not be something we need to try, but I'm gonna watch somebody else do it because I just thought it was interesting for a second. You know what I'm saying? And
But
it
see,
might not
it
be
be
my
my
kid.
own. It be my own rabbit hole though. See,
Mm.
Mr. Crook, you're new to our so hi. It be my own rabbit hole, and I be digging a deeper and deeper rabbit hole.
Same.
Um, so
I'm curious. What's in this rabbit hole? Come on. What's in the rabbit hole? Just give me one thing.
So
What?
tell
Give
them.
me one thing from the
Okay.
rabbit hole.
Okay. So I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know because I'm gonna give you a little bit of ease when I tell you.
okay,
Slick is probably one of the. He is less judgmental than me. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So when I say you can tell this man anything, and he's just well, okay.
I put the dirty
It,
in dirty.
I about to say he
I,
ain't got.
I,
It's gonna be oh okay, or it's gonna be like yeah I did that before and da 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 da. I'm telling you, Snook and I have had some great conversations about shit. I
I'm gonna
100% the
ask you what's
same
your
way.
Twitter name so I can follow you and go through your likes. I'm shit. That's what I'm gonna
Not
do.
go, not oh wow,
see,
don't go
I'm,
to my life.
I
I
don't
ain't.
like that crazy on Twitter. So you ain't gonna find nothing else.
Oh,
Most
then I
of my
won't be there
platform,
then.
I talk about the stuff that people be afraid to talk about.
Okay,
Well,
so
by
what is it?
Okay.
Come on, give me one thing. 'Cause
This
you
is
going like
definitely
this.
this man's toy. This is
You
definitely
going
this
like
man's
well,
toy.
see,
this
this is
right
what I
here?
told. I gave Big Daddy a wow factor, right? And I told him, I said, Big Daddy, I got a question. And he was like, okay, babe, I got an answer. What's the question? So I said, babe, what would you think about if I ask you to put your boneless babies on some Doritos and let me eat them like nachos and cheese? Would you
How
let
did
me?
I know? How did I know that's what you was finna say?
I mean, you can go to Doritos if Doritos is your taste. I mean, but you know, if you know, trying to get your health fitness on, I can put it on your salad for you. I drop it right on your croutons. You know what I'm saying? You can mix it with your ranch and go and do what you're gonna do if that's what you want. If you
But
like it,
see,
I love it.
it was the wow factor for him because he was like, wait a minute,
Yeah, I mean, you just, like who
what?
just pops up in the bag of Doritos? Like, I wonder what it would be like for.
Listen, you have no idea the amount of times I done looked at food and been like, I wonder what this. I'll
I
give you a
wonder.
prime example.
I
Okay,
wonder.
so I was reading this book called Butcher and Blackbird, and there's a particular scene in the book where the two main characters in the book they basically kill serial killers. They only kill serial killers, so people who are bad to the world. That's the only people that they kill. Well, this one serial killer was a cannibal, and he liked to kill. He liked to literally kill people, break them down, and make them into these fancy ass dishes or whatever. But anyway, so they came across a tub of vanilla ice cream that had semen in it.
Mm,
Now,
I,
right, that's what I did. That's exactly what I did. Right now, granted, the semen was for some random people, but I'm thinking about. I mean, am I opposed to having my
right? You see
man?
my face, like,
okay,
I,
see, here's my thing, right? You didn't see her face we ain't even got to the semen vanilla part. As soon as you said they eat other people, she was like, "Well, damn, I wonder what it would be like to be ate." You can't be ate more than once. Okay, you can only be ate once, so you can't just let
well,
me try
in,
this because you can't.
in that scenario,
No,
because
but I'm just saying. But I'm just saying, her face was like, "Wait a minute, I ain't never thought of it being ate
you want to know
before."
why? Because Ami likes to go down rabbit holes the same way I do. Because as the conversation, I'm telling you, when I was reading the book, I was like, because the way
I
they was
wonder.
breaking down how he was using the body, I was thinking in my head, I was like, well, what is. And then we got to the ice cream, and of course, my friends was like, Irene, you do too much. And I'm like, I'm just saying, because if this the person I'm fucking with, this, like, like, why?
mm-hmm.
Remind me to tell you something offline because I just had a conversation a couple of days ago with somebody. Remind me to tell you something offline. I'm not gonna put it on here,
Okay,
Mm.
but
fair
yeah.
point. But yeah, I just listen. I don't listen. Okay, because I'm
That's
with
like
Ami. I know.
that's like dive kinks and stuff like that, and trigger warning. People who cut and like that's a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like if you ain't never like poked somebody in broken skin, it's this little pop that happens when you break skin. You know what I'm saying? It gets a little dangerous in there, but somewhere in your brain, and I'm thinking what this might feel like if somebody did this and thought about this, right? I'm not saying I did this, but somewhere in there, right, when you do it, the little pop, you just realize you pierce somebody's skin, and this little thing just goes off, man, and it's like, what? I wonder how many more times I can do this, and they let you do it,
Listen,
and it gives it.
listen, because the fact.
I know people with some dangerous kinks. They be talking about if they ever go out, they want to go out while doing it, like and
Hmm.
fade to black while doing. I'm like, oh, that's pretty interesting.
Right, like
You done came and
I ain't trying to
gone.
go that deep. I ain't trying to go that deep with it. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't going deep either, cause
But
I.
Listen, you say that.
listen, okay, so this is the main reason why I hate the question, how freaky are you? Because like you said, everybody's level of freaky is very different. It is such a relative term based on A, what you've experienced or what you
Mhm.
have seen, and B, what you are, or how far you're willing to go. Now, also to tie it back into the topic, if a person provides me a safe space. I am comfortable to let my brain roam, and I don't feel like you're going to judge me and look at me sideways.
Mm.
Baby, we about to have fuck Six Flags. Baby, we about this about to be one hell of a fucking roller coaster because I got adult money and my brain be braining. And I'm talking
Okay.
about when I go
Same
down a
thing.
rabbit hole.
Yes, Lord.
Cause like
But
I
that's
like
the
I say,
thing, though. See, I'm innocent. I'm not a freak.
Yes, Lord.
That's the thing. I'm not a freak. I'm just nasty. But that ain't got nothing to do with like I don't know what to tell. How freaky are you? I'm not.
Mm.
I'm nasty. Now, don't tell me some shit you want to do because I'll do it. Like you just
listen,
leave me
listen.
alone.
My listen, for the right person, my hard limits is a very short list. Okay.
Mm.
Like the only thing I'm not doing is I don't do
Go ahead.
blood, but that's also within like don't cut. I don't want to do cut me blood.
Mm.
Okay, no urine and no feces, and I have
I'll do
no
it.
desire
I'll,
to
I'll do it.
see.
Yeah, see, I ain't going that damn far now.
I'll
I'm
do it.
disgusting, but I ain't that damn disgusting.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you
Like
have. You
don't
ever
that
peed for a really long time? You ever held your pee for a really long time, and then when you finally went and peed, like it was so long, but then at the end of it, it just felt like a little. You know what I'm saying? Like some people like that kind of shit. Some people want to. They
I
will
mean,
pay you to
fair.
watch you pee.
Listen,
So
and
I
will, and I get that, and hey, shot kudos to you, baby. Kudos to you. But as far as my hard limits, that those are kind of, and then also, I have no desire. Like I don't have a desire for like a threesome or to be with a woman. The only, anybody who has followed me for a long period of time, I'm pretty sure y'all have heard me talk about my one fantasy, which is to strap a big booty bitch down. But it genuinely has nothing to do with being attracted to a woman. It is the dominance of the situation because somebody else need to get her primed and ready, and then she
but you
gonna
can do
catch
that.
these sharp.
You can go do that to a dude, Irene. If that's what you want. You want the
Well, here's
dominance.
the tea. Here's the tea. Somebody would. I had a conversation with somebody, and they was like, "Well, have you ever thought about paying a guy?" And I was like, to be honest with you, it just because I think it hadn't crossed my mind because at that point in my life, I had not come across somebody who was openly willing to do it. But they offered, and they was like, "Well, I'd be willing to let you peg me," and I was like, that could work because once again, it's about the dominance of the situation. Now, the situation has not come to fruition because we just ain't been able, to align shit. Which it's also one of them things like if it happen, it happen. If it don't type shit. Um, but you know, it is very much a not you run boy back anyway.
What you read something down there? What are you reading?
You don't see the
Right.
comments?
I don't see him either.
Nah, I don't see.
Oh,
I don't see the comments or nothing.
yeah, there are comments. I don't know how to make it show up for y'all because I'm on the computer
It's
and I think
fine.
y'all on the phone.
I'll go
You
back
know,
and read it later on.
right?
I don't have a
But
desire to peg, no, to do the pegging thing. I never have, and besides, my man's too damn big, and he is not going for that. Uh uh
which here's
uh.
the tea, and that's why I say if it doesn't happen, I'm not over here like distraught about it. You know what I'm saying? But to be able to be with a person and have the freedom,
Mm.
yeah, I'm gonna do the bending. Damn it, shit.
And we don't have safe words and stuff like that because what is a
I ain't
safe word? Who needs that? So we don't
I
have
ain't, I
safe
ain't had safe
No,
words.
words.
that's a listen. That is a thing. Like now I will say this. I might not need one, me personally, but if you are with me, you need one. That's what I will say. But
I have
if you have
not
a
reached.
but if you have a safe space with somebody, you might not need that.
Yeah, we
Right.
So
don't need that.
that's
Me and my man
fine.
have an amazing safe space, and we explore our desires in our relationship with each other. So we don't have. I don't need a safe word because I have a extremely high tolerance for pain. So anything that man throwing at me, I'm taking all of that.
Hey
Period.
man,
But
it ain't.
so I don't need a
Man
safe.
again.
I don't need a safe word. I don't need that. Because what is
Right. I
that?
don't I don't have a safe word. I have not even in a situation where the first person that I dealt with that, we actually had like a BDSM type of relationship or whatever. I didn't have a safe word. No, I take that back. We did have a safe word. I just never used it. I have not gotten to the point where I needed a safe word. And with the current person that I'm dealing with, we never established a safe word because I was like, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know if I have a limit just yet. Now, if I get to the point where I feel like I got a limit, then cool, we'll figure that shit out then. But I don't like. Don't shake your head at me. Don't do that. Don't do that. You know.
The way this custom paddle that I got made is set up.
Listen, friend. I'm trying to get.
Listen,
Friend, I am trying to get to your level. Okay. I am not at your level just
look,
yet.
I'm gonna find.
As far,
Don't worry about it.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
have
listen. I'm
custom
gonna
shit.
find your
I don't
limit.
have custom shit.
I'm gonna find your limit. I'm gonna find your safe word. I'm gonna find what you into or not into, and I'm gonna figure out how you taste. But that, hey, I just live here. Don't
I
mind
just
me.
live here. The
Yeah,
fuck.
we've never established a
I just
safe
live here.
word. Yeah, there's no safe word needed over here. So we
I'm a
didn't even
I'm a
bother establishing one.
I'm gonna get another one of these paddles made and send it to you, and then we're gonna see if it's a safe word a week after that.
Fair. Yeah, hey, that could be my birthday here because I
I bet
appreciate it.
I bet it'll be a safe word after that.
You don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll
That
find out.
Wait, I got questions. I
Listen,
got
paddle is like
questions.
this. That paddle is like this big. It is.
if you want to bless me for my birthday, I would greatly appreciate it because
Well,
Let
your
me
birthday
call
is next week.
let me call my
I got
weird white guy.
I got questions
Why is it
because
always a weird white guy?
uh you said the paddle. What it got spikes or nails or something on it? Cause wait
Baby,
a
all
minute,
you
no,
had
I
to
said
do
I
was
got
all you had to do
questions.
was ask. All you had to do was ask, and he gonna show
Yeah,
you.
cause
He gonna
I
show you.
got questions. I need to see if Big Daddy want to get me a paddle.
Hello. Listen, I saw one on Instagram that had Lego pieces attached to it. Child, I was like, that is interesting.
Because I'm like, do they
So
got
which one?
spikes or nails on?
Listen. Which one am I getting so I can let him know? Am I getting the big one with the holes in it? Because
That's for aerodynamics.
I
Uh,
know, I understand. Because a solid one it drags against the wind. I get it.
mm-hmm. Because
I just need to know
I
which
thought it
one is
had
coming to
nails
my
on it or
house.
something. Because I'm like, it got spikes or something. Because like, what?
Listen,
No, you
I
don't
wouldn't
need
put it
that.
past him. I wouldn't put it
You
past him
don't,
if he had one. I wouldn't put it past him to have one. Real talk.
hey,
But
now that you
I know
say that, now that you say that,
Um, well,
I might
I
get some of the ones you can screw
yeah, there
in.
you
I
go.
might
There go an idea. You're welcome. Get put because I thought the way you mentioned it, I honestly thought it already had spikes or something on it. That's why I'm like,
child,
I
no.
want to see.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Here's the thing, right? And not to insult your intelligence, right? Here's the thing about spankings. Um, you just got to consistently hit the right spot. And the
Mm-hmm.
problem, well, it's not even a problem, right? The thing is, when you consistently hitting that good spot, it's
Mm-hmm.
cool. That pain is going to start amplifying. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And this is just this thing ain't no bigger than an iPhone. You know what I'm saying? That's an iPhone right there. You know what I'm saying? That ain't number two iPhones. But this, nah, we
Baby,
got a
that's a
long way
lie.
to go. Yeah, this right here, this one of them things when people go
Go with
pledge.
the shits.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This is when you with the shits right here. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta be with the shits.
Right.
You know,
Listen.
I'm just saying.
It,
See, I don't want the spikes on there because I don't want to poke you up and have you bleeding. And I don't want to do that. I just want some trophies. That's what I want to create trophies. And for those of you in the comments who don't know what trophies are, right? Your mama whipped your ass when you was a kid, right? And you had them little whelps. See,
Mhm.
we call those trophies over here in this lifestyle. I just want some trophies. I want something I can see later on and rub some cocoa butter or some what's that oil I got up here? Some coconut oil on. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm here for. I'm just
listen.
saying. That's what I'm here for.
I have told said person, like, listen, if you want to leave a mark, I am totally fine with that. The only thing I don't fuck with is hickeys and shit like that on my neck. Like, don't do that shit. But baby, let me go to sit down, and I gotta go. Hmm, mm.
Listen, I don't mind the hickeys on the chest, the bite marks, the hand. I'm rather
I
partial
don't want them
to
on my knee.
I'm rather partial to the big hand print, like with that
Hey
mark, and
man,
I go look at it
yes,
and I see
God.
Big Daddy hand. Yeah, I'm like, okay, I like
Okay.
that.
So I got a question, and I asked this question on my live like probably a month or so ago. At this point, are you willing to let your person brand you?
Oh, that's the. I remember you asking that, and I was just like, okay, what type of brand? Like cattle brand? Because if we're talking like tattoo brand, like
Well, both. Because I mean, a cattle brand is, think that's a little bit deeper than just a tattoo. Because you get a tattoo removed, baby, that scar is pretty much
No,
there.
you can't get a tattoo removed. You can tattoo cover it up. You
You
can
can
burn
get
the
it
skin on top
removed.
of it and put it. You can
You can get
burn
it
the skin
removed.
and put a scar on top of it. But now you just got a scar. You know what I'm saying? You can
Look,
put a slice on. You can
look,
cut somebody. You know what I'm
look.
saying? And you can have a
I'm
scar.
telling you what I know, friend. You can get the
I
tattoo
hear you.
removed.
Listen, that little bzz thing is just burning your skin, creating a scar. Listen,
because because
I
I
don't have a
asked.
scar. I
I
don't
asked
have a
because
scar.
I
I got a
wanted to
tattoo removed,
know.
and I don't have a scar.
Yeah, because I asked because I'm like, if we're talking in the realm of tattoos, I'm already branded, right? Real
Oh yeah,
big
I do
on
remember you
booty.
telling it.
Big Daddy's
Telling it.
name is right, real big on that right ass cheek. So I'm like, if that's
Come
the case,
on, the
I'm
right
already
ass
branded.
sheet.
You know, look, why you leaning the camera like?
Cause
Why you
he's
look like that?
intrigued now. He's intrigued.
What?
That's how you know Snook is
I didn't
intrigued.
say nothing.
No, it's
He
just the
li-
look. Which, like, it's the look. That's all like, what? What?
I
What
mean,
are you?
I would have listen. I would have thought it would have been somewhere else, but since I don't see it, then obviously it's not there. So it makes sense to be where it
oh,
is.
you would have thought it was on her titty.
Listen, because my daughter's mom is looking like her, and they all so you know what I'm saying. If I'm going to brand, I want it where everybody gonna look at it. It's gonna say "Daddy" right there. Snook. You know what I'm saying? I get it.
Yeah, well, see, I chose. The reason I chose to put it on the ass cheek because I wanted to give him something to read when he's back there. His name in
Come on.
big bold letters. So I like to have stuff for his
Oh, that'd
reading
be
pleasure.
interesting. What if I wrote a
Back.
poem and put it on the cheek, ass cheek? What if
Ooh.
I wrote a poem and put it on my girl ass cheek and I'm hitting it from back and I just get a tattoo? I just tattoo a poem on that thing. That'd be so beautiful.
That would be
Yeah.
dope. So yeah, I just got it, and I wanted it to be something that only he would see. So every time I walk by, he smack that thing, he see his name jiggling and whatnot.
Come on
That's
now.
only for him.
You know what? Affirmations. Backshot affirmations.
Hey
Somebody
man.
need to create a book of poetry and call it backshot affirmations. Hey, I need $1 off of every book you sell. Whoever make that, I need that. That backshot affirmations.
Come on,
Create a
back shot
poetry book.
affirmation.
Boom.
But when it comes to like,
Hey. Your next poetry show. Backshot affirmations.
oh, PQ, that's you doing back shot affirmations?
No,
I
I think
was
you should just title it. You should title it backshot affirmations. I'm just saying.
you know what? I'm gonna keep that comment to myself because I feel like that's gonna give
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna ask
somebody a
my.
fucking idea.
It should. It should give them a fucking idea. You absolutely right. It should give them a
I
fucking
concur.
idea. You know what I'm saying? As I'm back here hitting from the back.
Cause could you imagine getting back shots and then the person making you look in the mirror and say affirmations? That would be fucking.
Now I got to let me put my notepad in because now when I write me a poem, I'm gonna write one for Big Daddy, and I got to tell Big Daddy that we gonna have some back shot affirmation.
Amen. Come on, back shot affirmations,
Listen,
Jesus.
when you hashtag it on your post, see next time you post a post with a picture, if you put a caption up under there and you put hashtag backshot affirmations, just make sure you put hashtag Snook 0626 on there, please. That's all I ask you to do. That's it. But what you just said, Irene, that is a thing, right? So I have a thing where people I want to know three things you love about yourself and three things that you want to change about yourself. And I don't like using the word dislike, right? Because you should never dislike anything about yourself. And I'm gonna take them three things you dislike about yourself, or you know what I'm saying, or that you want to change about yourself. And I'm gonna turn those three things into affirmations. And as I hit it from the back, I'm gonna hold your head up by your hair and I want you to repeat these affirmations because we are going to work on this together. This is a me and you thing. I am here for you.
That's pretty dope. I fucks with it.
Mhm.
Backshot affirmations.
I fucks with it.
Backshot affirmations. So
Now I got to get my poetry book out and write a poem about backshot affirmation.
I
listen,
ain't gonna hold you. I definitely just made a
just
little
at
note
me,
to listen. Hey,
add me in the
oh,
post. That's all I just say. Just add me in the post. I want to see it.
now you know damn well I don't post my goddamn pieces on the Tiki and the
I
Talkie
haven't
because
posted any of mine either. Yeah, I
look,
haven't.
I had to post that shit on Instagram or something like that if I do it.
Listen, post it wherever you want to post it. I'm just saying, next time you do a show online, just title it Backshot Affirmations. Just tell everybody they need to come with a most sensual poetry. You know what I'm saying? This is Backshot Affirmations. When you are writing this, I want you to think about your safe space that you have with your pleasure partner. And I want you to think about the things that you want them to say to affirm in their life. You know what I'm saying? I want you to think about the things that you want them, you know what I'm saying, to pledge to you as you are giving them back shots. Back shots affirmation. I'm just saying.
Mm, mm.
Ooh, that is
Or
dangerous. Ooh, that is dangerous. Jesus.
or Irene, we could even do we can do affirmations when we're riding. Ride him affirmations as we looking down in his face and tell him how big and how strong he is while I'm up. You know what? My wheels are
Amen.
turning.
Come on
My
now.
wheels are
Come
turning.
on, turn wheel. We
My
love a
wheels
good
are
I,
wheel to
yeah,
turning.
turn.
yeah,
We
I'll
love a
accept
good
that. I
wheel to
listen.
turn.
That's only
I'm
gonna
gonna write
work
that
50%
down.
of the time for me though, right? Because 50% of the time, I love a good rider, right? So 50% of the time, I'm with you. The other 50%, I need you to take your hand and just go like this right here. You know what I'm saying? And just
A good choking
right
and missionary just
as you look
it
down
revives.
upon me. No, as you look down upon me, I need you to just, you know what I'm saying? And just let me know that at any given moment, you could have just snatched my soul, but you are allowing me to be here. And I appreciate you.
Yeah, my wheels are turning.
Write them information, affirmations. Yeah,
I got to
Come
pick up
on,
my
ride
pen. My
my
wheels are turning, and then my big daddy went back
yeah,
over the road, so I got a lot of inspiration this
Oh, it's
past
hurt
weekend
too.
at this stuff.
I bet you
So,
did. You nasty.
yeah,
You
yeah.
nasty.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to put that. I'm gonna have to put that to work. New poem coming soon. New piece
Come
coming
on
soon.
now. Oh, so that means you performing in June. Big. You performing at the June show. Great, 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 great,
Can
great.
I
Right.
get the pen on the paper, ma'am?
You got
Can I
time.
put
You
the
got like 2, 3 weeks. You got it. You got like 3 weeks. You got it. I believe in you.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
I
I know
got
you
like
do.
10 minutes. I need to go eat dinner and see if I can get me some affirmations. I'm trying to get me
who?
some random affirmations tonight.
Hurt. Yeah,
I
now we
need
gonna
that.
go ahead on and wrap this good young thing up.
I
So
need
let the
that in
people
the
know where
bag.
they can find y'all if y'all got anything specific going
Like
on, such as
you
hobbies
ever looked
or some
up
other
and
good
just
shit.
saw a beautiful face and she just in her own zone and it's like I'm doing my thing from down here right now. And she's just so beautiful. Just look at the curves moving.
Yeah,
Just
he need
ride
to
them
go
off
get him
me.
a round of affirmation. He
He
need to go
does.
get some round of affirmations.
He
Yeah,
does.
it's beautiful, man. It's a beautiful thing.
He does.
Well, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook at Ami_soul. And that's where you can find me. And it's the same name, same spelling across all platforms.
Period.
Listen, you can find me on Instagram. It's right there, right? Snook underscore the underscore crook. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Walker, the late night stalker. That's not really none of my things, but I like throwing it out there because it's funny. You know what I'm saying? But if you are on TikTok and you want to find me, you can find me at Snook SNOOK 0626. That's like June 26th. I am a Cancer male. I am in touch with my soft side, but I'll fuck the shit out of
No,
you. I don't know what else to tell you.
I asked for friends.
that was both for us.
That's my that's my
I
backshot affirmation for the night.
I asked for friends. Jesus, I did. I didn't put stipulations on it either. I asked for friends.
You didn't say what kind of you didn't say what kind of friends you
I didn't. I didn't. I didn't. But you know
If
what?
you
Y'all
riding,
know it's your girl. I read the motherfucking Passion Queen. Y'all can find me across Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter and such. Of course, y'all know y'all can catch me every Tuesday night here, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Next week we are going to be doing game night. So I'm probably gonna have about 6 people up in this thing, and If y'all have ever caught any of my lives where we play some of them questions games, baby, we finna do it over here. Well, we ain't got no restrictions. So ain't no telling what the fuck gonna come out of our people mouth. Y'all know how the fuck we do. And then we got some other great topics coming later in the month, going into July. I got some really dope shit coming down the pipeline for y'all. If you have not gotten a copy of any of my books, please make sure you go to thequeendom.com. That's TheQueendomme.com. Everything is linked down below as well, to get your copy of Vacation, a erotic novel about a couple that goes to Jamaica to celebrate their wedding anniversary. The Purple Dungeon, which is a collection of erotic short stories and poems that I have written. And of course, the Sexual Awakening Journal, which is a prompt journal that has several questions to help you kind of break past barriers that you may have around sex and your sexuality. So I am not a therapist though, but you can definitely take this book to therapy with you. Hopefully you have a kink affirming therapist. If you don't, one will be on the show very, very soon, as well as my homegirl that was on last week, the erotic fairy. She is also in the process of completing her licensing and everything for therapy. So, shout out to all the kink affirming therapists out there, black kink affirming therapists out there to top it off. But yeah, so other than that, y'all can catch me in the TikTok lands on my lives pretty much every morning while I'm working, just vibing, chilling. And I appreciate y'all for coming. Thank y'all so much. You
Hey,
know what I'm
hey, you
saying?
got you got to tell them to look out for the book too. Look out for the book that she gonna write called Backshots Affirmation. It's a bunch of
I didn't
poetry by a
I
bunch of
didn't
other
commit to
people.
that.
It's gonna be all in one
I
book.
didn't commit
You
to
know
that.
what I'm saying? It is
I didn't commit to that.
backshot
I,
affirmations.
I didn't commit to that. But I do have something coming up the pipeline that
It just sounds so
I
good though.
think
Just so
y'all gon' really, really like. So be on the lookout because I'm actually about to start kicking off my Patreon account where you guys can go and check out any reviews that I may do on, excuse me, on sexual enhancement products and all types of stuff. So be on the lookout. Everything is linked in my link tree. So if you see my link tree, baby, just click it and just hit on everything. Your girl birthday is next week. Next week, so make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that on the 11th we're gonna be doing this show, but we're gonna be live on TikTok on the 13th on my birthday, taking shots, turning the fuck up. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do that because I'm technically gonna be at a work retreat, but baby, we getting fucked up that day. So, all right, appreciate y'all for coming. I hope y'all have a good night. Talk to y'all later. Thank y'all for coming to my TED Talk. Bye.